All right. Oh, so I just got off of work. Um, from what we've seen, what you can see on the screen by any chance, these collector booster boxes are still going for like 500 on Amazon, and they're still going for like 400 on TCG Player. So I think the price will go down, but I don't think it's going to happen yet. From what we've heard, the One Ring was found, so confirmed found 2 days ago. I didn't hop on and do any hype train stuff because I knew there's going to be like a million people talking about it, so I don't really see any reason talking about it. However, my collector pack did come in today, and since the prices are still high enough where I'd have to pay basically the same for anyway, and because I already told you that I can't justify buying this just to try and get the one of one ring. I'm looking for, I still need a the white blue Farmir 4-cost commander for my Gundor deck because it didn't come with any of the deck packs that I got. Um, we got the Witch King, but I'd prefer Witch King foil. I still want the cooler, like close-up art of Pippin foil, perhaps. Um, I'm not sure what else I'm looking for in here. Any cards that I don't have already, I would like that I don't have from the just from the set in general. Then with this, the other thing is that, if you're buying this just for the one ring, I couldn't have justified that really at the beginning anyway. But if you were buying this to get, just for a gamble in general, I would say that if you're going to gamble on the one ring, it's still worth gambling for the other ring cards because from what we've seen so far, I don't remember what I typed in last time, but oh yeah, that's what it was. Soul rings. Basically, there's still a number of these soul rings out there, so if you wanted to gamble on a collection pack, you still have all of these soul rings out here. And you can see like these basic ones. What did that say? Say 409. Yeah, like the basic ones are selling for like 200 to 500 bucks or something just for these basic human, dwarven, and Elvis soul rings, which I would like to have one of these for each of my decks, for the Lord of the Ring deck for sure. But I don't think I'm gonna spend all that money on there right now. I'm not gonna dump a couple grand on all this. I'm already dumped too much money in the Lord of the Rings stuffs anyway. But the serialized ones, um, what? Search foil glittering caves, $500. What? Yeah, I would like to collect all of Lord of the Rings cards, and I would prefer to do them now because I think eventually they'll probably go up, or like most of the foils and stuff. Like if you're getting the basic cards, I don't think it'll be that bad. Um, but the other Soul Rings were going, or at least they were listed for like a couple thousand. So from what I remember, just the standard Elvish Dwarven, or um, human Soul Ring is going for like 200 to 500 bucks. The which would pay for your pack basically. And maybe could potentially go up in price over time since there's only so many of them. The Serialized ones were listed for like 2,000, and then like the one of one Elven cards and stuff for like 10,000. So if you're gonna gamble on anything, there's actually a good number of cards that you could potentially hit that would at least break even, but the odds are still kind of slim. But any case, the uh, uh, my collector or my gift bundles won't start coming till the 7th, I believe, or they won't be here till the 7th. They either release the 7th or won't be here till the 7th. We also tried the two commander decks that we had when we went to our local commander area. Um, I put the Witch King card and the Sauron card that we pulled out of the little sample packs into those decks. Um, so that was pretty good. But the Mordor deck seemed to be way stronger than the human deck for sure. Human deck didn't really pop off at all. It was kind of slow. I only got to play it once. Um, Basically got steamrolled by a few people before I could even get off the ground, and I was kind of mana stalled, I guess, as well, a little bit. The Mordor deck, I tried it with Saruman, which worked pretty okay, and then I tried it with Sauron, the Dark Lord, as the commander, which is actually a lot better than I thought it would be because you can amass orcs pretty quickly. Um, he was able to defend himself versus like 5 people, or not 5 people, 2 people attacking me consistently from like the beginning of the game. I got enchanted with a curse that gave people treasure tokens, and I was able to keep them at bay for a good portion of the game, as well as keep all the life totals pretty much the same. So we'll see what we get in here. I want to hit this before we get to bed. Granted, though, I have no fancy knife. I have no experience opening boxes. I have this paper clip. I don't know what happened to all my knives with the move. I used to keep one in my pocket all the time. Ah, stabbed myself. Some good plastic though, Jesus. I probably have a box cutter somewhere. Oh, I'm pretty tired. I figure if there was ever cards I was going to collect, it would be the Lord of the Rings one. What I want to do, because I don't really have an interest collecting a bunch of Magic cards, so when it comes to Lord of the Rings, it's the closest to the RTS that I could think of. And it would be really nice if other people would want to play the Lord of the Rings decks versus me with only Lord of the Rings cards. So we get the box topper and all of these. I might buy this special edition collector booster thing at some point. My thing though is like some of these pack things that I didn't buy, I actually have an interest in buying. Like they have like 4 scene boxes that you can get for like $9. That comes with all of the foil cards needed to make all the scenes and stuff, and they have artwork cards that come with it. So like that's all the kind of stuff that I want to collect um when it comes to this. So I want a full binder in a box just like that's nothing but Lord of the Rings cards. And then host like a I don't know if I would do it or not, like stream, like making my YouTube channel. I could go back and use my other YouTube channel and record just Lord of the Rings, like War of the Rings games. Could be good. I'm gonna get a sip of water real quick. Oh, I need to knock this out so I can go to bed. So I got a long drive tomorrow before work because I got to drop stuff at the UPS because they messed up my order. Well, hopefully that we'll pull something kind of interesting that I can use this week in Magic and impress people with, or change up my deck a little bit. Mainly just want that blue white or that white blue 4 cost Faramir Commander because I don't have access to it and I need him for my Gundor deck. But God takes good care of me, so I don't really expect him to need to do much for me here. These are actually pretty thick though. It's a good little finger exercise. I forgot to bring over a couple of my sleeves from before, but these foil tokens, I'm actually not, I don't really like the artwork, but I wish that I had, actual Gundor, like, foil tokens. They're pretty cool. I think I want to make some proxies to make the Gundor soldiers from the actual Lord of the Rings RTS game. And we got a shiny food token. Bewitching Leechcraft. Enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature has if this creature would untap during your untap step. Remove a +1/+1 counter from it instead. If you do untap it. Okay, so it just removes counters. I like the art on it. I wish I had my sleeves now. It's cool artwork. I'm sure none of these really are that expensive, but I want the different artworks and the different things, like Soldier of the Grey Host right here. I mean, it looks nice. And the other thing is that I've never built a full foil deck in Magic, which it would be nice to have foil. That's part of the reason why I got those gift bundles. I want those foil lands. So when Soldier of the Grey Host enters the battlefield, target creature gets 2/0 until end of turn. Not the best, not the worst. Woe's Pathfinder. The other thing is that part of me, like deep down, because I didn't get to buy this collector box when I originally wanted to, makes me think that like maybe I missed out on the box that I was supposed to get. But Woe's Pathfinder, Human Shaman, tap it for a mana, or you pay 7. Another target creature gets 3/3 and gains trample until end of turn. It's pretty cool. The foil artworks are really nice though. Glimley's Fury. Target a creature gets 3/2. If it's legendary, also gains trample. It's nice. Friendly Rivalry. Target creature you control and up to one other target legendary creature you control each deal damage equal to their power to target creature you don't control. So that would be going in the Fellowship deck right there. 100%. Celeborn the Wise. It's a white dude. I thought this was the other guy. Whenever you attack with one or more elves, scry 1. Whenever you scry, Celeborn the Wise gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each card looked at while scrying this way. Interesting. So Dawn of a New Age full art. The hope counter on it for each creature control. At the beginning of your end step, remove a hope counter from Dawn of a New Age if you do draw a card. Then, if Dawn of a New Age has no hope counters on it, sacrifice it and you gain 4 life. Okay. Mary, Warden of Isengard. I don't think we have this one in the other deck, but we don't have the Halfling deck yet, so. Partner with Pippin, Warden of Isengard. Whenever one or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink. artifacts. If you had like the was it the Bloodborne battle axe, Bloodforge battle axe? Do a combat, makes an artifact, and then you create a soldier token. Peregrine Toque. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional food token are created instead. Sacrifice 3 foods to draw a card. Okay. So we got some Shire cards in here. Shire Sheriff. Enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a token. When you do, exile target creature an opponent controls until Shire shifts. This one's full art too, so I don't know. That's kind of cool. Fangorn Tree Shepherd. So this is the first tree folk that we have. I don't know if tree folk come in the Elven deck or the Hobbit deck, but we need them for the Fellowship deck for sure. And then if we can actually get enough of them, we could actually make the other one. So tree folk you have control have vigilance. Whenever one or more tree folk you control attack, add twice that much green. You don't lose unspent green mana as steps and phases end. So that's interesting. So your tree folk don't tap, and then you get green mana when they attack. So it's mana ramp and a 4/10 body. But it costs 7 to get them out, so I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it yet. Pretty cool though. I'm not exactly sure how I'm supposed to manage all these cards without sleeves. That's the problem, because I don't have very many sleeves at all. Yeah, I get a smog token. Maybe I can get something that makes a smog. This creature dies, create 14 treasure tokens. Okay. Isolation at Orthanc. Put target creature into its owner's library second from the top for 4. Battle Scarred Goblin. Becomes blocked, it deals 1 damage to each creature blocking it. Okay. Nimrodil Watcher. Elven Scout. Whenever you scry, it gets 1/0 until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. This ability triggers only once a turn. Okay. Generous Int, so we got another Int. Okay. Reach, 6-drop, 5/7. When Generous Int enters the battlefield, create a food token. So it seems like the Ints are supposed to be with the Hobbits, but in the movie, there's only like 2 Hobbits that were actually with the Ints, so that's just kind of the thing that's weird to me. I guess maybe if the colors match up properly, you could do Pippin and Merry as an Int commander, but maybe not. So we got Peregrine Toque in a different artwork, I think, and it's foil, so it's different. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional food token are created instead. I like this artwork a little bit better, probably. Int Drought Basin, so pay X, put a 1/1 counter on target creature with power X, activate only as a sorcery. I don't know how good this is, but it is flavorful. So I'm not 100% positive. And it looks like Merry and Pippin on there, which would be pretty Good for the deck. Oh, we got an island. I've been wanting some of these, so I want to get like at least one of each of these. But the gift bundles probably won't have any of these, so yeah. I want to get the full map though. So we got Hugh the Entwood. Sacrifice any number of lands. Reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of lands sacrificed this way. Choose any number of artifact and or land cards revealed this way. Put all non-land cards chosen this way on the battlefield, then put all land cards chosen this way onto the battlefield. So this is risky. Probably pretty strong. We get a full art. Seems a little risky though. Blackgate. So we got another one of these. I'm actually this one's full art, so I like this a little bit better. I'm a little 50-50 when it comes to the full art cards, because some of the cards I like better with border, but I probably want some of these for some different commander decks maybe at some point. We got a Nazgul, so this is one of the Nazgul that we need. We need 9. So if I get a bunch of Nazguls in here, I'm not complaining at all. Or the Ring Wraith card, because I don't think we have that one either. When it enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. When it tempts you, you put a 1/1 counter on each Wraith you control. I'm definitely going to have a Wraith deck at some point. It's going to be great. So, Reflecting Pool, Henneth Anun. Add 1 mana of any type that a land you control would produce. So, it's a land that filters your mana. I need one of these potentially for my Marchesa deck, probably at some point. So some of these cards from the Lord of the Rings are definitely going in my Marchesa deck. There's a few cards like the one that you can tap and draw 2 cards, and then you have to give it to an enemy. I want that for my Queen Marchesa deck too. But the only bad thing is that it really puts that card at risk, you know? But I have a really good theme for my Marchesa deck coming up. It's going to be like equipment and just giving people like tokens and giving people creatures with equipments attached to them. So like I'll pull out my sword and then I would say attach someone that makes tokens and like assault armor on there, or I would put um that draw card guy on there. I would swing and hit somebody with my sword, and then when I got enough lands or whatever, I can make a deal with somebody and be like, hey, I'll give you this and I'll let you hit me with it or something. You do whatever. So, got a reflecting pool. I don't know how much that is, but it sounds pretty good. So, Aowen Fearless Knight. It seems like we have a pretty consistent theme with these cards that we're pulling so far. It's just a lot of hobbits, a lot of like Aowen, and a lot of Ents. Fearless Knight, haste. When anyone Fearless Knight enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls with greater power. Legendary creatures you control gain protection from each of that creature's colors until end of turn. So I don't think this one was in any of the decks either, and it's full art, which I like. The art is actually pretty good. I'm not the biggest Aowen fan. I'll tell you right ahead right now. Um, I don't know exactly how useful this is. I mean, it enters the battlefield and you exile a target creature with big power, which would probably be like a wraith or something. And then legendary creature you control gains protection. So I mean, you get to swing in for free with all your legendaries, which is okay. So I mean, it'll probably be in the Fellowship deck starting out, unless we separate a Rohan deck. But it would probably be Fellowship right now. Then we got Pippin's Bravery. You may sacrifice a food. If you do, target creature gets 4/4 until end of turn. Otherwise, that creature gets 2/2 until end of turn. For a 1 cost, I don't think it's terrible. Cool artwork. I like the artwork. It is very flashy. Okay. Pippin, Guard of the Citadel. This is one that we didn't have, I believe. The artwork on this one's actually really nice. Like, I can't say it's like the best thing ever. I don't know exactly how to tell about the rarity, but this one is the ring border with like shiny foil Pippin and like a really cool background. I can't. It looks like Mount Doom or something's going on there. I'm not 100% sure. But another creature, target creature you control gains protection from the card type of your choice until end of turn. It has Vigilance and Ward 1 for a 2-drop. It's almost like a mother, so basically a Mother of Varennes, which is pretty interesting to me. I really like this artwork on this card, though. I'm going to have to stick that over here. I see Pippin, Guard of the Citadel. I just want to see. Lord of the Rings, Pippin, Guard of the Citadel. Foil. See if we can find it real quick. That's the one that I kind of wanted right here, this borderless. Not exactly how you find these, I don't really know. Huh. Just want to see what these are. Is it this? That doesn't seem right. Guard of the Citadel. So they have Showcase, Borderless. Okay, so it's this one. So it's only 50 cents, so it's not. I mean, it looks really good, but I guess it's not. I mean, it's Showcase, but it's not. This one isn't foil. Pippin, Guard of the Citadel, Showcase, foil. So what, couple bucks? Like a buck. Okay. Not terrible. See, I should have saved, like, if I was going to collect all of the cards, I should have saved and just bought the singles, potentially, but it is what it is. Okay, got some human tokens. See, I almost prefer these human tokens over the other human tokens, but these are Rohan soldiers and not Gundor soldiers. That's the only thing I don't like about them. I do get a food token, though. Alright, we get a Mordor Trebuchet. Foil. It's cool. So it looks like we're getting into the Mordor cards here. Get that Troll Soldier. Can't block unless you control a Goblin and an Orc. 4/4. Okay. Erwin's Gift. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control 2 or more legendary creatures. Scry 2, then draw 2 cards. Okay. Mirkwood Spider. When it attacks, target legendary creature you control gains Death Touch. Interesting. I don't know if I guess it's supposed to be an evil card. See, it seems like the elves are supposed to fight like the beasts, like the spiders and stuff. But that just seems like it'd be very odd, you know? So you got Ugluk, the White Hand. Looks like a goblin dude. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a 1/1 counter on Ugg of the White Hand. If that creature was a goblin orc, put two 1/1 counters on it. So we're getting some orcs and some goblins here. Goblin Fire Leaper. When it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. Interesting. So you can buff it up and then swing, and then when it dies, then you can blow something up afterwards. Okay, and there is our mountain. We got Gundor and Rohan together. Helm's Deep and Isengard. I actually didn't realize that Isengard and Helm's Deep were so close, or even like Gundor and all this. It is actually kind of good to see some of these. Like Dol Morth, I knew that was down there in the south, but there's like another town somewhere that Faramir's the prince of that isn't on here, which I find interesting. Ooh, Sauron the Necromancer. So this is the card. This is one of the cards that we wanted. Probably isn't expensive online, but I mean, when it attacks, exile target creature card from your graveyard. Create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of that card, except it is a 3/3 Black Wraith with Menace. So this is going to go in the Nazgul deck for sure. Sauron the Necromancer. Elven Chorus. Sauron the Necromancer. So that one is a shiny. I mean, I don't know how to tell the difference. Like the most expensive one is this one, which I think is maybe what we got. It's a foil, like $4. Elven Chorus. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast creature spells from top of your library. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. So that's pretty strong. Full art. Subjugate the Hobbits. Gain control of each non-commander creature with mana value 3 or less. This is actually really strong, though. Yeah, that's nuts. Full art, really good artwork. 7-drop, takes over everything with mana value 3 or less. All tokens. Jeez. Frodo Baggins's 2-drop. Enters the battlefield under control. The ring tempts you. As long as Frodo is your ring bearer, it must be blocked if able. So Frodo Baggins. This is probably the one that we would use in the Fellowship deck because it seems to have more flavor with it. It's a 1/3. When it or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, the ring tempts you, which means if we're using legendaries, then we'd be able to get tempted really quickly. But as long as Frodo is your ring bearer, I mean, it has to be blocked, which means you could potentially swing past. Elrond, Master of Healing, so this would go in the Fellowship deck as well. Whenever you scry, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to X target creatures, where X is the number of cards you're looking at while scrying. Whenever a creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. Interesting. Full art close-up of the Balrog Dirdsbane. Spell costs 1 less to cast for each permanent sacrificed this turn. That's interesting. Haste. Balrog Dirdsbane can't be blocked except by legendary creatures. When the Balrog dies, destroy target artifact creature an opponent controls. So something like this really seems strong to me. I really like the artwork on it. Because I was tempted to make a goblin deck with one of these as the leader, because in the movies it shows up, I believe, when the goblins attack, but I wasn't sure. But something like this is like, basically you could make a bunch of tokens, and then you could just sacrifice all those tokens to make this Balrog come out, and it instantly gets to swing, and if they don't have legendary creatures, you get a hit. So like, even if you had an equipment, you like summon this thing, like you sacrifice like 7 things, you get this thing out. Well, you sacrifice like 5 things, get this out for 2, equip a sword or something onto it, and then just instantaneously smack somebody for like 15 damage. Oh, it'd be pretty big. We got Samwise the Stout-Hearted Foil. Choose up to 1 target permanent card in your graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Okay. Return it to your hand, and then the ring tempts you. It's a pretty nice card. Shadow of the Enemy. Full art foil. Exile all creature cards from target player's graveyard. You may cast spells from among those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast them. This, I believe, is the Mountain Pass that Sauron was using to attack, so this, I think this would be a Sauron card, but potentially you could put this in any of the dark decks. Interesting. I would almost say this is Sauron deck. I think it could probably be on either. It seems like a pretty good card. Oh, I've already stayed up longer than I wanted to. It's 6 hours till 12, so I'm probably not going to get very much sleep today, because I need to leave early. Alright, so now we got an Orc Army foil token. I like the foil token on this a little bit better than the actual regular token. Alright, so we get Took Reaper. When it dies, the ring tempts you. And a foil. Treason of Isengard. Put up to 1 target instant and sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library. Okay. It's foil though, so that's going to be an upgrade from the basic deck. Uruk-hai Berserker. Enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Just kind of a basic card. We got a Wizard's Rocket foil. Sacrifice Wizard's Rockets. Add X mana of any color combination. When it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. So you get to fix your mana for 1 turn and draw a card. Not the best, probably, but I could see this being useful in some decks. Like even my Marchesa deck, like 1 mana, and then like I pay 2, get my commander out, and draw a card off of it. I mean, it's going to replace itself. Ooh, we got Legolas Counter of Kills. Foil. If it's tapped, you may untap it. Do this only once each turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on Legolas. Good artwork, really nice foil. I like it. Ekenbrand, Lord of Westfold foil. Enters the battlefield under your control. Creatures you control get +1 until end of turn. Nice. Now we got a Plains. So we got a Plains with the Shire. It's interesting. I like it. Golem, Dwarf Emissary. Whenever you cast a historic spell, create a treasure token. Sacrifice a treasure token to goad target creature. That's interesting. Okay, so we got a kind of elf mana rock sort of hobbit. Its symbol, the Entmoot. So that's another Ent card. Creatures you control have reach. Sacrifice a symbol, the Entmoot. Create 3 tapped XX green treefolk creature tokens, where X is the amount of life you gained this turn. Interesting. So I'm guessing they want the Ents to be played with the Hobbits, so you want to use the Hobbits to produce food, and then Merry and Pippin go and get the Ents, and then use the food to get life. Gandalf, Friend of the Shire, ring art. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Gandalf, draw a card. Okay. Merry, Esquire of Rohan. Whenever you attack with Merry and another legendary creature, draw a card. Okay. Got another Pippin's Bravery, full art. We got a Gollum Patient Plotter with the same thing that we're going to get in the gift bundles. During tempts you, sacrifice a creature, return Gollum from your graveyard to your hand. Cool. And then we got a Shire card that looks really cool. Shire enters battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature. Then you add a green. Or you can pay 2, tap an untapped creature you control, create a food token. So this is supposed to be for the Shire Ent deck, potentially, legendary land. But I could also see this pretty much being inside of the Fellowship deck as well, considering. But I guess the Shire isn't technically, all that. But that's a really nice looking card. Shire looks like, what, Mythic maybe? So we had a full art thing with foil. It's this, but it's foil. I'm not seeing one on there, though. Like $8, maybe. Hard to say. I'll keep it over there in the corner. I'll fix the cam for a second. Okay. No? Yeah, alright. Okay, we got the foil boulder. Me like a lot. The Thorian Lookout. Whenever it attacks, you scry 1. I'm assuming when we get the elf deck, we'll probably get a bunch more of these kind of things. East Farthing Farmer. It's a pretty strong card. For the halflings, anyway. Ithkin Kingfisher. Dies, draw a card with flying. Okay. Int's Fury, so we get another Int card. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. If it's power, then that creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn and fights target creature you don't control. Okay. That's removal. Adoran, Lord of Rivendell. There's the battlefield under your control. Scry 1. This is the second time this ability resolved. The ring tempts you. Cool artwork. I really like this artwork here. It's very shiny. Very cool. I don't know where I would put that blue deck wise. I'm assuming in an elf deck. Because the healer would go into like the fellowship deck or something. Lord of Rivendell would probably be something else. So we got Intish Restoration. So we got another ink card. Sacrifice land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Put them on the battlefield, then shuffle. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, instead search your library for up to 3 basic land cards. Interesting. It's another shiny. Oh, and we got a Mordor. We got Mount Doom. We got the Southlands. I dig it. So we got Fangorn the Tree Shepherd. So this is the same one with a different art. Also foil, so that's also cool. I like it. Got the Corrupt Sheriff with a different one. Top for the Rep Hearts. So this is an additional card that I want for my Queen Marchesa deck, which this might go into. Oh yeah, that's going to be a good card. Grimly Counter of Kills to go with the Legolas. The creature's controller. I don't think it's as good as Legolas is though, but we'll see. Full art Inn of the Prancing Pony. Add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a multicolored spell. Could be good for some decks, but I don't know about mine. We got Mirkwood Bats. Create or sacrifice a token. Each opponent loses 1 life. Full art Mirkwood Bats. Dunlane Selbane. Enters battlefield, amass orcs 2. A cool bird art. And Orcish Bowmasters foil. Mythic. When Orcish Bowmasters enters the draw a card whenever Orcish Bowmasters enters the battlefield and whenever an opponent draws a card except their first one drawn in each does 1 damage to any target, then amass orcs 1. Yeah, that is pretty good. It's actually got some really strong stuff on here. I would put this in with the Nazgul because that's where I recall the archers being the best at when they were attacking Gundor. So let's go into the Gathering, Mythic, Full Art, Foil, Orcish Bowmasters. I mean, this one's $38 and it's not even foil, so okay. I wouldn't mind getting like 1 more of these potentially, but for like Sauron's deck or Mordor's deck, but be pretty good. I'm feeling solid right now. Got another boulder. Elven Farsight, scry 3, then you may reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, draw a card. Interesting. Good. We got Limbus. Enters the battlefield, scry 1, then draw a card. Pay 2, sacrifice Limbus, you gain 3 life. Whenever Limbus is put into graveyard from the battlefield, its owner shuffles it into their library. So, alright, so you get to scry 1, draw a card, gain 3 life, and then put it back in there and get some more stuff. That's nice. Shiny, I like it. Glory Scale, counter target Ogsgilith. Got a chick with the Gundor shield in the back. I really like this. Looks like it's, what, mythic looking? Enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a 1/1 counter on Stalwarts of Osgiliath. I like that. Going in the Gundor deck for sure. That's why I want that commander, because so there's one that's like it's cheaper and it comes in the deck and it's like a 2-drop or something, and it's like when you draw your second card you get to